had to do the match analysis between Belgium and Russia and also Finland and Denmark, but I could not. I didn't have the energy or the mood to do it after what happened to Christian Eriksen. And I tried to gather all the energy, that it's okay, that, he's stable now, and I just could not do it yesterday. So I'm sorry for that, that I it just wasn't in me to get that energy in myself to record a video. But he's stable now, and let's just hope and pray that he recovers fully. And thank God that he's fine. Seriously, thank God he's fine, because these are the things that remind us they are human beings after all and nothing else. And let's just pray that he's fully healthy, him and his family members and everyone. Now today is England versus Croatia, and this is one match that I'm very excited about because there is a lot of recent history that has happened between the two teams, which is why it'll be really fun to see that, who gets the points, who gets the 3 points, or will it be a draw, or how the teams perform. It's going to be very exciting. According to FIFA ranking, England is at 4th and Croatia is at 14. Now advantage for England is that they have the match at home. So almost 20-25,000 supporters will be there supporting them at Wembley. Now that is a plus point. It makes a lot of difference. Now there is a concern here, and that is that in 9 of their appearances in Euro that they have had till date, they have never won the opening match of the tournament. Never won that. Even when in 1996 Euro, they had the match at Wembley, the opening match, and could not win it. It was against Switzerland and it was a draw 1-1. And fun fact is, Gareth Southgate was in the squad at that point of time and they did not win the opening match in Euro 1996. Now talking about England versus Croatia. They have had 2 major meetings till now, as in considering World Cup and Euros. And the first meeting that ever happened between the two teams was back in 2004 Euros, in which England won by 4-2. And the second meeting that they had must be in everybody's memory, that was World Cup 2018, in which Croatia won by 2-1 and England was out of semi-finals. But after that World Cup defeat, England and Croatia have had 2 games in which England did not lose. In one they had won the match and in one they drew. Considering the recent friendlies that they had, they managed to keep clean sheets. England managed to keep clean sheets against Austria and Romania. But in friendlies, Croatia drew from Armenia and lost from Belgium. Now Croatia, in their 5 appearances that they've had in Euros, they have won 4 opening matches and drawn 1. Now talking about England's squad, Trent is out and it is very doubtful that Harry Maguire or Jordan Henderson would get to start. And Mason Greenwood is out due to injury. But talking about Croatia, they have fully fit and rested squad. But still there's a little doubt if Dejan Lovren would get to start or not, because he picked an injury too. But otherwise, the squad is fully fit of Croatia. Anyway, the squad of England is very strong, vibrant, energetic and young squad. So there's a possibility that this match England will win only if Gareth Southgate knows how to use his talent, knows how to use these talented players together, not individually, because this is what is required in a team like this. Because beat anybody, Mason Mount, Grealish, Harry Kane or Declan Rice, they are very good talents, but it all depends on how Gareth Southgate is thinking of using them in all the matches that they're going to have in Euro. Because if he's going to go very defensive mindedly in a game like this, in a fixture like this, I think it could hurt England. Because Croatia, on the other hand, do not really have a very young squad. But this does not mean that they do not have experienced players. Because Croatia is the one that has talented and very, very experienced players. So that will make a lot of difference in a game like this. And who is to say Harry Kane, the World Cup Golden Boot winner, won't want another Golden Boot in Euros? I'm sure it's going to be a very fun evening, but I'm going to go with England today, that they are going to win this match. It's going to be 2-1 in favor of England. And let's see that happens or not, because there is a lot at stake today. Did anyone feel that the match started with a bang for England, but then it just kind of cooled down for everybody on the pitch? Everyone. England started with a bang. All the players were out there and they started building the pressure up on Croatia. It could be seen that the starting shots by England, which unfortunately could not be converted in a goal by Phil Foden or Phillips, that was really heartbreaking because they were pretty good shots, and you would expect that till the end of this first half there would be around 10-11 shots taken by England, at least that many, because in first 30 minutes Croatia was nowhere near England, and it was expected that they could have easily gotten a goal in that first 30 minutes, the pressure that they were building on Croatia. But it did not really happen after that 30 minutes. Now listen, I know it's a very hot day in England, so no blame on them. After all, they're human beings and we understand that it cannot happen that you keep putting pressure, you keep playing for 45 minutes with that same energy. I get that, but then as soon as they dropped energy, England dropped energy, only then that Croatia became visible. Before that, Croatia could not be seen anywhere. But it was after 30 minutes that the game seemed very even then, because there was a lot of ball that Croatia also had then, and they were trying to take shots. I don't know why I expected a lot more from Perisic. The chance that he got and it just went over the net, I think, it should at least have been on target. That was required, because it's clearly visible that England is going to have a lot of possession even in second half, but whatever chances you're getting, you need to at least put them on target so that you can come again, you can be a little bit more threat for England's squad. But that did not happen. Like I said, England were very good when they started the match. They were long balls, they were fast, they were quick, and they were moving the ball very fast. Good passes, great passes, and link up could be seen between the players. But then the team just got settled down. I don't know how, but Sterling always finds himself at very good places and at very crucial places, just like Timo Werner does. For Chelsea, he's always at such good points. Whenever he gets the ball, he holds the ball well, but then I don't know why, fortunately, unfortunately, he tends to lose it. Maybe, cannot convert it or make something very good out of that ball. But talking about Phil Foden, for that age, how is he such a smart, intelligent player? I don't understand. Every ball that he gets, it is going to be something meaningful. It's not just that, he's just giving a pass or cross like that. No, it has a meaning behind it. So he's a very, very intelligent player, complete magical player on the pitch. Whenever Pickford gets the ball, I don't know why I feel that, he's going to commit some error or something is going to happen at that point of time. I'm just not very confident having Pickford there. Maybe I watch too much Premier League, but then yeah, that's what happens whenever Pickford gets the ball. What do you guys think that having two goalkeepers on bench, is it good? I mean, is it a smart decision to make? I know anything can happen in football, I understand that, but I just feel that a position is wasted, like, because having two goalkeepers and substitutes, you could have put Jadon Sancho in it, maybe Ben Chilwell you could have put there because he has a lot of experience, just won the Champions League. I think could have put somebody else. And talking about our forwards, we have Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Sterling, Mason Mount, all Premier League players, all top 6 club players. If we could have put somebody else there in place of maybe Sterling, I feel that, okay, Sterling is not a bad player. Yeah, he could not work very well this season, I know that. But, having Jude Bellingham there or maybe Jadon Sancho at a place like this, who could bring something other than what we have seen in Premier League, maybe that could have been an advantageous to us. I know that it is better to have those players who have played with each other a lot or seen each other's game a lot. But I feel that in the squad, having somebody other than Premier League players in front positions could have helped in their favor, to bring something else on the pitch. But I don't know, I just feel that might have worked, to have Jadon Sancho. Okay, even if having Grealish there, you made Grealish play in the friendlies that you had, and now he's not in the playing 11. I think Grealish should have been there, but rest we yet to see what happens. Let's see what happens in second half. England have won the match by 1-0 and they have created history because they have never won the opening day match in the 9 Euros that they have attended before. So this is something very big because they have never won the match. Similarly, we can say that Croatia has never lost the match and now they did the opening match. Anyhow, the one goal that they got was from Sterling. But I would count it as Phillips' goal because Calvin Phillips was mind-blowing. He was so good in this match. Phillips created that goal out of nothing, and what a beautiful assist for Sterling. He just had to go ahead and score that goal. That was that easy for Sterling. But thank God Sterling did not miss that and England got one goal and finally England has won this match. And also I feel that Gareth Southgate should have made better substitutes. I mean, taking out Phil Foden was useless, was pointless. He should have taken Sterling out at that point of time and put maybe Grealish on. They could have gotten another goal. At the start of the second half, Croatia looked quite good. They looked very comfortable. But where is the pace? There is no pace at all. In last 5 minutes, Croatia was trying to build something. Perisic got the ball and he was trying to pass it in the penalty area of England. But there was nobody to take that assist, nobody to take that pass. And the problem is two forwards who had to make the run to get that ball were the substitutes. Come on, you were substituted for a reason. You came on for a reason. That was Petkovic and Brekalo. You had to make that run so that you could get a goal. At least you could have tried. That was a beautiful beautiful pass from Perisic. You can't get goals if you don't make that crucial runs. Such good England scored, and the damage was just 1 goal for Croatia. So that is something very positive to look forward to for Croatia. They can build on that, to get more pace, to be more concentrated in the game, and also to keep the tempo and possession. It's like they get the ball and they don't know what to do with it. So that is how the match ended. I'm so impressed with Calvin Phillips. So far, the best player on the pitch today for me. He was so damn good, and I can't wait to see what he does next. So that is it from me today. Bye.